Welcome back to us, the P2P Macher, to part 2 about the portfolio tracker P2P Dash by Tim Rottmann. If you missed the first video with the developer, feel free to catch up on it, but it is in German. Parts of this series will be additionally recorded in English wherever this is possible. And if you do not yet know what P2P Dash is, then it is best to stay tuned. Feel free to leave a subscription and a like already now, so you don't forget it at the end and are directly informed when the next parts go online shortly. And now, let us get started. P2P Dash is a web-based application that allows to keep track of all your P2P platforms in one place. The platforms are set up separately, and their export files containing all transactions are imported. What exactly counts as transactions will be shown in the next part, but in short, these are deposits and withdrawals, investments, interest payments, fees, and so on. In our initial video from August, the one we see here, and at this point, once again, a big thank you to Tim for his support, there were around 28 supported platforms. Since then, over the past month, several more platforms have been added to P2P Dash, and it can now import data from 44 platforms, which barely even fits on this page anymore. However, a small note in advance. Unfortunately, not all platforms listed here provide an export function. In those cases, the export often has to be requested by email, or the export file does not include all relevant information. If platforms catch up and improve their export functionality, this is usually updated in P2P Dash quite quickly. And at this point I would like to add something. Because after I had written the script for this video, I had the idea to ask one platform, for which we are still waiting for an export functionality, whether the release of this feature might coincidentally overlap with this series. In the last email from early December, when I asked for the transaction file for November, they already said that they had reached the testing phase. We are talking about the platform Loanch, which appears in both of our portfolios and, to be honest, prevents us from fully switching our portfolio updates to P2P Dash. So, just 2 weeks later, and really at the very last moment, I asked again about the current status. And we, the P2P Macher, are allowed to exclusively announce the release date for this feature. And it is scheduled to go live before Christmas on Monday, December 22. And we are very happy about this and will of course test it immediately. If you're still missing a platform, you can contact the developer directly here. Ideally, you should also send your export file in anonymized form so that he can set up the importer accordingly. But now enough theory, and let us move on to practice and real dive into P2P Dash. We are now on the website p2pdash.com and register here with a new account. All we need is an email address and a password. And after that, you can get started right away, with no email verification or anything similar. And this is one point I really like about P2P Dash. It is not personalized at all. There's no forced collection of personal data. You can use any email address you like if you are concerned about tracking or similar issues. You do not have to provide a name, address, gender, or anything else. It is nicely simple without unnecessary overhead. Now that we are inside, let us briefly take a look around the interface. Creating a platform and filling it with data will be covered in the next video. On the left side, we find the core elements that P2P Dash is built on. The portfolio, meaning the sum of all our platforms. Platforms themselves, viewed individually, a text statement tab as an overview, a rebalancing and projection tool, which was the larger construction site Tim already talked about in the last video. And as Tim also mentioned in the last video, there is the global statistic page, where we can see statistics across all registered users. Somewhat inconspicuous is also the share function. This allows you to publish your portfolio and share it with other P2P investors. This is of course switched off by default, but anyone who wants to can enable it. And then, next to the search, there is also an export function, which allows us to export our aggregated data again. For example, to transfer it into another portfolio tracker such as Portfolio Performance. All of these features will be covered in our series, and we will go through them step by step and take a closer look. And if you also like P2P Dash as much as we do and would like to support Tim, feel free to check out his support page. And if you would like to support us, the P2P Macher, we of course have also a support page on our website, which we will link below. But it already helps us a lot if you click the thumbs up and subscribe button. You did so that, right? With that little wink, we already say goodbye and will definitely see you again in part 3, where we will import different platforms. Eure Macher, Alex and Aurum.